WADA TV gives you a first look at North Central Washington's business news. You'll hear from our local business, tech, and education companies as Jenny discusses hot topics and current events with some of the best innovators and pioneers in North Central Washington.
Hello, North Central Washington. I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, your host on WADA TV. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, entrepreneurship. We're really lucky that right here in North Central Washington, we have a vibrant and growing entrepreneurial community. With a legacy of great business in agriculture, we not only have agricultural companies thriving, but tech companies, retail organizations, professional service groups, and many others. But what does it take to have a strong entrepreneurial community? What are the resources that are needed to support these innovators as they grow and champion new business ideas? And how can we as a community support entrepreneurs and their development and growth in our region? Well, on today's episode, we have not one but two guests who are going to talk about this very topic. I'm pleased to say that we have Jim Fletcher from the Small Business Development Center, as well as Stacy Luckensmeyer, the Business and Industry Liaison for Wenatchee Valley College, to come on air and talk about entrepreneurship in our community, what's new, what are the resources, and how you can get involved. So stay tuned for a great episode today on WADA TV. Welcome back to WADA TV. I'm here with special guest Stacy Luckensmeyer, who's the Business and Industry Liaison for Wenatchee Valley College's Center for Entrepreneurship. Welcome to WADA TV, Stacy.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you on air. Let's talk a little bit about the Center for Entrepreneurship and what your role is at Wenatchee Valley College.
Those actually, are two separate questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll pick them apart.
I'll begin with the role. The Business and Industry Liaison position oversees the programming for the Center for Entrepreneurship and is to be a point of contact for businesses of all sizes across the entire region. I also keep the college informed and connected to what's happening in the community, because one of the major components of a community college is that we need to respond to community need. So being aware of and current on what those needs are is a really important aspect of what I do. With the part of the role that connects with the Center for Entrepreneurship, there are new programs that we have developed to better serve the needs of entrepreneurs in the area, and there's some that we have been doing for a number of years that support business growth. And when it comes right back down to the college being an educational institution, and education does not end when you graduate with a degree or a certificate. There are always finer skills that need to be tuned to a specific job or a specific business or a specific industry, and we help to continue to do that with employees as well.
I like that you brought up the fact that you work with businesses of many sizes, because today we've been talking or started the conversation around entrepreneurship and kind of starting your company, but there's a variety of services you work with very large-scale companies as well for training programs, development,
right,
and then resources to accelerate them to the next level. Can you tell us a little bit about a particular program that you're working on or excited about for the future?
Right. One of them that I think the community needs to know more about is economic gardening. And it's, we're in an agriculture area, and so people assume that it has to do with literal gardening. But it does not. Right. It does have to do with growth, but it has to do with growing your business. And this is not a program that we deliver actually at the college. The National Center for Economic Gardening and the Edward Lowe Foundation have actually partnered, and they handle the delivery of that. But we have been trained on onboarding businesses into this and are kind of the first point of contact for companies in the district, in the region, to participate. What that program does is it helps companies gather data and information so that they can make informed decisions about expansion. And it's not about expanding within your existing region and utilizing more of the money that is moved around within that region. It's about expanding business outside into an outside market, whether it's another part of the country or whether it's an international expansion. And it can be expanding with an existing product line into a new market, or it can be about identifying new product lines that you can grow into that will allow you even greater access into another market.
And the company sizes, from my understanding, range at the starting about 500,000 annual gross, right?
It's a little higher than that.
Is it? Okay.
Yep. It's 750,000.
750,000
a year, and it's a huge range between 750,000 a year to 50 million a year.
Okay.
That is a very broad range. This is what they've categorized as stage 2 businesses. So these are businesses that have proven that they have a product that people want. That they have the ability to manage growth, that they have employees that they can grow with. So there's a minimum, of 10 employees typically, and a maximum of 100 on that. We have a little bit of wiggle room on that, but that's kind of the general guideline for it.
So if you are an established business in North Central Washington and looking for ways to grow or assess potential ways of growth, economic gardening would be a great resource.
Absolutely.
Now, what about for those who are just getting started? I know you have a new program coming up in the next couple of months, a Million Cups program, and that's a little bit for all levels of entrepreneurship.
Right.
Correct?
We have a couple of new programs, and it's really through building the relationship with the Kauffman Foundation. So they are known for research on entrepreneurship all over the country and for investing in different communities to discover and then implement things that will help grow business. And now they're turning their focus a bit into more rural areas. So that means we are now going to be offering their 1 Million Cups program here. And then we're going to be also offering their Fast Track program. So the 1 Million Cups is a monthly event. Our kickoff event is going to be April 4th. It is a Wednesday morning, and it will be the first Wednesday morning of every month, where we have 2 different businesses that will be talking about their company, what they're trying to do. They do need to be within the first 5 years of existence. And the opportunity there is for them to be able to ask the community that has come to here what we ask them, what is it that we as a community can do to help you with growth, to help you with whatever this next challenge is that you're facing, and be that supportive region. So it's kind of developing that culture here further.
And so it's a real audience and community participation opportunity, right?
It is,
for
very much so.
the community members who are interested in helping support the entrepreneurial climate in our community and helping those businesses under 5 years with growth or ideas or suggestions.
Connections. Right. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so April 4th, the first one of that event. I know that you do a lot of personalized work for businesses in terms of being that voice of the business community back to the college and those services. So how can people get in contact with you to talk about their business needs and connecting in with Wenatchee Valley College?
So, Stacy Luckensmeyer is kind of a long and complicated name to spell, so we're just going to skip right past the email address, and I'm going to give you the website where you can click on my email and just send it to me from there. So the email address is pretty simple. It's wvc.edu/CFORE. So C, Center for Entrepreneurship. Yeah, CFORE.
Perfect. We've put that on screen as well.
Excellent.
Before we head to a quick commercial break, anything you'd like to leave the audience with about entrepreneurship or getting involved?
Yes. In general, we would like to be that main touch point. If you have questions, if you're entrepreneur-curious, as I call it, there are so many excellent resources like our Small Business Development Center and SCORE. There are a lot of other entities in this area that are here to support and to help and to guide. So any opportunity that we have to connect you to those resources, we really want to do that.
Great. Well, thank you for being on air today, Stacy. I appreciate it. And you gave a great plug for the Small Business Development Center, who will be our next guest today as we talk about entrepreneurship in North Central Washington. It's time for a quick break, but join us back in a minute for GWADA TV. Welcome back to GWADA TV. It's time for our second guest of the day, Jim Fletcher, Business Advisor for the Small Business Development Center. Jim, thanks for coming on the show today.
I'm happy to be here, and thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, we're so glad to have this conversation about entrepreneurship. Stacy Luckensmeyer just kind of helped set the stage, but let's talk a little bit about, first of all, what is the Small Business Development Center?
Well, let's take,
Well, I know, it's a lot of content.
Yeah.
For starters, I know the Small Business Development Center is housed inside of the Port of Chelan County.
Well, that's where my office is located,
yes.
But we're actually an independent organization. Okay. I work officially for Washington State University.
Okay.
And our job is actually to get down in the one-on-one level with the business owner and take what you learn through Stacy and the other coursework and actually implement it and make it work for your specific business, so it's customized to you.
You know, many years ago, Jim actually advised me. I had a small business idea and was working through that. And he's absolutely right. It's a personalized service. I was able to take my business plan to you, review the financials, talk about the trajectory, and make decisions on whether or not that was the right fit. So I know I appreciated your resources when I was in that stage. But you work with not just the startups who are looking at a business. You work with all sizes.
We work with all sizes. Small business is kind of a misnomer because actually it can be up to several hundred people in a business. It's still considered small. It's when you get over 500 people, then you're no longer small.
Right.
So we work with a lot of businesses, multi-million-dollar revenue businesses, doing a lot of different things.
Yeah, I imagine the range up to 500 employees is quite diverse, and we have several of those companies right here in North Central Washington. So I know we talked in advance of the show a couple different areas. Let's talk a little bit about retail. What's going on in retail?
Well, retail is a transformational business right now because the internet has changed the market landscape and what people can do. And so how do you compete with Amazon? Amazon's now a $177 billion a year business. How do you compete with those guys and still stay a small business in a small town? And you still have to use that internet to your advantage, and you're recruiting not businesses, maybe in Florida, you're recruiting a customer who is 3 blocks away, who is at home at night wanting to do their shopping because they forgot tomorrow is their wife's birthday. They need to make a decision, they need to buy something. They may come into the store later and pick it up, but they want to shop at their convenience. So how do you use the internet tools to help make that happen and continue to be a robust small business in retail?
And like you said, a really important topic for retailers with the changing dynamics in online shopping and consumer habits. We have a really rich retail environment in North Central Washington with a lot of small businesses, a lot of family-owned companies who are driving those results. The resources at the Small Business Development Center include a lot of education, right, and research, so educating retailers on what they can do.
Correct. And as Stacy calls it economic gardening, I'm old, I call it market research.
Okay.
But it's the same thing. It's getting knowledge to the individual business owner, getting that market inside information to them on whatever product it is and how to better reach that customer.
And I know from attending some other events, including the Port of Chelan County and the Port of Douglas County, those are ways to connect in the Small Business Development Center because you're often sharing out those reports through large-scale community events. So one-on-one opportunities at the Small Business Development Center, but also community awareness.
Yeah, and again, my focus is really still that it's the confidential level because you're talking about your business. It's sensitive. A lot of people are a little shy about talking to a stranger about their business because if there's a problem, they don't want other people to know about it. But it's also about growing and advancing your business to new levels if you want to go that way.
That makes sense. I can imagine as an entrepreneur, you want to keep those financial pieces and growth confident. So it's great that we have resources like yourself and Stacy. Now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about exporting. I know that's a huge industry for Washington State, especially within agriculture. What are you seeing with exporting?
What we're really behind now is an exporting program that is geared towards those smaller businesses, stage 1, stage 2, if you will. Yeah, because we tend to think of exporting as only what the big packing houses do, But we have clients who are exporting a lot of small value-added products across the globe. And my best one I like is we have a client that came out of Bellevue. They are exporting gourmet popcorn.
Wow.
If you can export gourmet popcorn, there's a lot of good things that you can export. And there are a long list of others. Some are on our website, but we have people who are exporting specialty trailer hitches to Australia. There's one that's created a device that they export to the Philippines that helps take water out of the humid air. So there's lots of ideas that can reach foreign markets, and our job is to help that person figure out how to get there. And we have export specialists that actually work with me to help them do that. So they're not relying on my export knowledge, but we have an export person who's actually done a lot of international trade, walking them through the steps on how to get to that international market.
So just another way for local companies to take advantage of your resources. You mentioned gourmet popcorn, kind of a retail product, a specialty store product. So our retailers can take advantage of opportunities to potentially export what they were traditionally selling in a brick and mortar setting international.
Correct. And again, with the market research, we find other countries that are using that product, want that product, or an opportunity there. So you're not going in cold calling anybody. We set people up with trade missions to actually meet buyers from those other countries. Last year alone, our export specialist in Eastern Washington generated $8 million of new sales to Korea and Japan for small businesses located out in Grant and Adams County.
And when we talk about American companies and manufacturing or retail, it's exciting to hear about us sending goods and being an exporter of those goods. It's happening already.
Yes.
So telling that story and providing more avenues for businesses to take advantage. We wanted to talk about one more area, a really critical part of any business, which is finances. So before we head off, can you talk a little bit about getting finances under control?
Well, one of the things I see frequently with clients is, okay, you have a CPA, you do your taxes, you get a finance report that goes in a desk drawer. We want to help you learn how to read that information and make use of that data that you're on your business to make better decisions about how to control costs or maybe increase revenues and do a better job of making a profit out of your business. So it's an educational service, one-on-one, very proprietary information, your financials. How can we help you use that tool and make a better decision for your business?
Again, a really important topic, and it sounds a lot around personalized learning based on what that business owner's expertise is in financials. We all know that a lot of our entrepreneurs are dreamers. They make things happen. They're the movers and shakers, but they may not have the same financial savvy as a CPA or an industry expert.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of divide the business world into three parts. There's the entrepreneur who's an innovator. There's the person who's a good manager, taskmaster, and there's the guy who's the great mechanic. They can do the work. It's hard to find all three skills in one person. So what we try to do is say, whatever your skill is, how do we help you backfill where you're not that great or find somebody to help you? So if you're innovative but you don't really know how to be the manufacturer, then we need to figure out how to help you get that done.
Well, you heard it first here on Guada TV. You can't be all things to all people, right? And the resources at the Small Business Development Center, a great organization. Their physical office is at the Port of Chelan County out in Old Station. And then Jem is available through a variety of community events or one-on-one appointments.
Yeah, good with your business, I like to do everything one-on-one appointments. So we are just you and I.
Perfect. Well, we'll make sure our viewers get your information. I want to thank you for being on air with us today. And we're going to head now to a commercial break, but when we get back, you'll see our tech tip of the week. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Dan Paquette with Key Methods with this week's tech tip. Today we're going to talk about cloud computing. Cloud computing has been the buzzword in the industry for several years now, but what exactly is it and how are people around here utilizing it? Let's consider this example. You're a business owner with computers and servers that are about out of date and it's time to replace things. You have two choices. You can do the traditional buy a server that's overbuilt for the next couple of years, or you can consider moving those servers to the cloud. One of the nice benefits of moving to the cloud is your ability to size your servers the way that you need them today and having the ability to grow and expand tomorrow. You can quickly scale up those servers when things are booming, or if things aren't going so great, or you've got that seasonal work, you can shut those servers down and save money in the off time. And of course, the great thing about that is you're only paying for what you use. Another advantage of going with the cloud is the ability to be mobile and to work from multiple locations. Some of the things to consider if you do decide to go to the cloud are making sure that you have proper internet security and you've got redundant internet connections, since you'll have a dependency on getting to the cloud. One of the biggest concerns of going to the cloud is security, but if you work with a technology specialist who can evaluate your network and risk, you should be able to avoid the most common problems. If you do decide that cloud is the right thing for your business, make sure you work with a certified cloud provider like Key Methods. Give us a call, we'd be happy to assist. This is Dan Paquette with Key Methods for this week's Tech Tip.
Thank you for that tech tip, Key Methods. We appreciate your thoughts on cloud computing and your advice for our business community. As we wrap up today's episode, which focused on entrepreneurship, I want to share a little bit about what GWADA is doing to support entrepreneurship and share the news around our exciting event on April 19th. GWADA has started the Flywheel Investment Conference, which is a one-day conference that focuses on connecting startups and early-stage businesses with access to capital, resources, and education they need to grow, and also brings people from around the Pacific Northwest to Wenatchee and allows them the exposure and opportunity to see why we have such a great business climate here. I hope you'll check us out at flywheelconference.com to learn all of the details, but a quick preview: we have great keynote speakers. We have a variety of educational sessions, so whether you're an investor or you're an entrepreneur, you'll learn more about these programs and resources. And then the highlight of the event is we are doing a Shark Tank style competition where 6 to 8 early stage companies will compete for the opportunity to win an investment award. This is going to be hosted on Thursday, April 19th in downtown Wenatchee at the Stanley Civic Center. And you can find out information on the tickets, resources, and speakers at flywheelconference.com. I look forward to sharing more about the conference in the upcoming weeks, but in the meantime, I want to thank our presenting sponsors, Moss Adams, Ogden Murphy Wallace, Confluence Health, and our economic partners at the Port of Chelan County and the Port of Douglas County. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next week.
Since 1999, GWADA has served as North Central Washington's Tech Alliance. As a 501c3, our mission is to bring people and technology resources together to create a thriving community. Through our work, we aim to inspire, engage, and connect.